Had a weird dream last night. I dreamt that my mom was still alive, but she was like arguing with my dad about taxes, and he he's like, oh, she doesn't really know who I am anymore, so I'm gonna move to San Francisco and live as a bum. And then I didn't hear from him for a long time, but then I found him like bumming around in San Francisco, and I was like, Dad, what are you doing? You have like a home and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I just decided I wanted to be homeless. And I was like, that's weird. And then there was some other weird homeless guy that he kind of knew, and somehow like then I was somewhere else walking under some freeway bypasses or underway, and uh, and I was looking for my daughter, and I couldn't find her, and so I found a cop that was eating donuts, and I was like, dude, I need to find my daughter. And he's like, where'd you see him last? And I was like, I think she left with my dad's homeless friend. And he's like, oh, well, it's kind of like a case end. So just take this donut and split in half, and just put the papers in the donut, and then we'll know that that's like the case end, and then we can put it into the computers, into the search system. And I was like, okay, so how do I do that? And I had this like cream filled donut, and I was like, but I don't want to waste the cream filled donut. I think I'm gonna eat it. Do you have like a dirty old bagel? And he's like, oh yeah, the dirty old bagels are right there. So we got a dirty old bagel, and there's just like strips of paper, and I put them in there. He's like, okay, I did it. And they're like, all right, you're hired. You didn't know you were gonna be working as a cop, huh? And I was like, no. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna leave. So I got in a truck, and it was like a FedEx truck or something, and I backed up, and I think I smashed into a car on accident. I didn't realize it until after I passed, but then there was a big dent in the car. People were laughing, and I was like, oh well. So then I went back to where I left my dad, and he wasn't there, but but my wife and kids were, and the daughter I was looking for was there. She was just hanging out, and I was like, oh, you're here, cool, that's good. And it was weird.